Okay, we'll start the Recreation, Public Parks and Buildings Committee meeting at 8:52 p.m. Present are all of council, the mayor. I'm looking to see if everybody's still here. The mayor, law director, finance director, HR director. She's still here. Planning director, city engineer. Looking for the name here for the rec center. And guess.
Chris Wetmore.
Okay, Chris Wetmore, thank you. So up first is 2021-18. That is a resolution authorizing the mayor to renew the contract between the city and Carrie Skull Tipton North Olmsted Gymnastics Incorporated for the provision of professional gymnastics instruction services at the North Olmsted Recreation Center for an additional 6-month term with option to extend for a full 1-year term. Chris, you want to take that?
Yes, thank you, Chairman. We've been working closely, Betsy and myself have been working closely with Assistant Law Director Brian O'Malley on getting this contract before you guys. As you know, COVID interrupted many of the programs that we had down at the Recreation Center and especially in the gymnastics area. So what we've done is with working with Carrie and again with Brian and Betsy, put forth something that we think has potential to grow. Right now we're asking for $2,000 a month as a rental or as a lease payment from her, and then with the option, if we were to grow or if she were to meet or exceed 48,000 in that 6 months time range, that our fee shall be increased to 4,000 per month. So like we're asking that you guys approve this and go from there.
So she has been the gymnastics person there for how long?
I believe since 1999.
Okay, and what was her fees? What were your fees to her for that during that time period?
So the last contract that we had with her, we switched it over to a rental agreement. Prior to that, we were doing a 70-30 split, where she would collect 70% of the funds and we would get 30. The last contract we went to with a strict rental, where we were getting 8,000 a month.
Okay, and you have nothing going on right now with the gymnastics because of the rec center just reopening?
We actually have started classes back up in late September. So we are back up and running. Classes are, not to where they were pre-COVID. So we're hoping that they'll grow as hopefully this thing gets under control a little bit. So that's why we have the caveat in that agreement that if we do grow past or exceed that 48,000, that our rental will go up as well.
Okay, committee, do you have any questions? Councilwoman Heeman?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. So, Chris, obviously, this new contract is a reduction, and I get it with COVID, but what were her revenues then to know, against this 48 that you're proposing, is the increased level or the increased bar?
Revenues as current revenues?
Yeah, and before COVID, because, clearly we were charging her a lot more as a rental fee. Now that's being reduced, and then you're looking at her revenue as the increase, the X factor to increase. So what has her revenue been pre-COVID, and then?
Well, post-COVID or currently, our revenues are in the process. Like I said, September and October, the classes started back up at the beginning of October, end of September, and we've seen the first month of October, I believe we and I don't have the numbers in front of me, so I don't want to quote it improperly, but I believe that it was her revenues were somewhere in the range of $4,000. Now pre-COVID, we were and again, I don't have the numbers in front of me, and I apologize for that. But those numbers were exponentially higher than that, and where it wasn't an issue for us collecting our $8,000 a month rent. I don't believe there was. I don't believe that there was any month where we didn't see our fees collected.
So was there any discussion about a sliding scale so that, and I guess, and the other thing too is this is only 18 months, right? It's not, 3-4 years. But
well, I think that the contract is actually 6 months with the option to go to a year, I believe.
But was there any discussion about a sliding scale, meaning if she gets to this, we get that. If she goes up, then we get a little bit more to build back more toward the 8 that we were getting as her revenues increased, kind of like sales that they do,
Yeah. Yes. Yes. And in the agreement that we put forth, it says that in the 6-month time frame, if she does hit 48,000 or more, then our rent goes up double. So we would get, instead of the 2,000, she would be on the hook for an additional 2,000 per month to owe back to the city.
But if her revenues start to go up beyond that, we don't get any more. Like we boxed ourselves in if she starts to go right back up to where she was.
Well, and I think the reason that we kept it to a 6-month time frame is to be able to assess that in 6 months and not be hamstrung to that agreement past that.
Okay. Another question that I have is with regard to the contract language where on page 3, under the heading of what the city shall do, item number 1 is that, assistant advertising, et cetera, et cetera. And then it says that the city reserves the right on line 3, the city reserves the right to identify North Olmsted Gymnastics as an independent contractor. Why would we not want to just identify her openly as not our program? Why is that we don't just a footnote on the website, a footnote on all the literature, and just say, this is not a city-run program, it's an independent program? What's our
I believe we do that. I'm not. I on our program flyers, and I'm pretty sure that we do that on the website as well. I can verify that and get that back to you.
Are you, do you think it's in our best interest to say, and Michael, if you can jump into this, that, we shall make that statement because now we're in COVID and we've got these other things, and, I think the detachment could be better for us than not in this environment. I don't know that I was bothered so much by it before.
I would defer to the law director on that.
Well, who's my chair here?
Jack Kelly.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Don't want to call you Madam Chair. Could you rephrase that question for me, please? The question is whether or not we should mandatorily disclose that Carrie Skull-Tipton is an independent contractor?
Well, so page 3, item 1, says that the city reserves the right to identify her, right, as an independent contractor on any promotional materials. Why do we not just say that the city shall, and that she's required to separate herself from our city as being our program? It's her program.
I don't know why that language is the way it was drafted like that, but I'm not sure. I guess I'm not sure I understand what the significance of that would be.
Well, liability and other things that people come to us and then we have to argue, no, she's not really, it's her program, not ours, blah, blah. And I understand there's insurance and all of that. you know,
Right.
but we're in a very challenging time right now and will be, I think, for several more months. And I'm not saying that, you know, we actually throw up a big disclaimer, say we've got nothing to do with her. I'm suggesting subtly, for example, in footnotes or that sort of thing, just making the statement that she's an independent program.
I mean, it's
Because-
certainly, yeah, I mean, it's
But-
something we can look at, I suppose, if, you know, administratively, it's helpful.
I would like that amendment. I'd like it much better. And I have one final question. Go ahead, Mr. Groh.
That's up to council. If council wants to amend it to include that, that's council's wish.
Okay. And Mayor, if you don't mind asking, and I'm sorry, Mr. Kelly, may I continue?
Go ahead.
Thank you. And Mayor, I have a question. Did we consider this gymnastic space is 12,000 square feet? And you know, you were really promoting a basketball program at our recreation center as being a very big revenue generating item. So would we get more revenue if we use the space for basketball? We need about 4,500 square feet for high school regulation. We need just under 6,000 or about 6,000 square feet for a college regulation, and then a 10 feet perimeter should do it, and the ceiling is more than 10 to 25 feet high. And the flooring and all those items are really not that expensive for this conversion. So was that at all considered, you know, in this discussion of this 12,000 square feet? And I'm asking only because you really seem to think it was important before.
Yeah, well, realistically, we have a long-term relationship with this gymnastics program, right? And they've, I credit Chris and Betsy for getting a fair amount from gymnastics, with something we've worked on for a long time. This is nothing more than we have a very unique relationship with gymnastics. It's almost like nothing else over there because she kind of runs her own show and she just rents from us. And it's nothing more than saying, hey, in this age of COVID, she has no business. Her business has been effectively shut down for months now and is just reopening, and she has no ability to pay us that amount of money if she doesn't have any business coming in. So it's us just working with her.
That's not my question.
So no, the answer is no, because she's currently in there, and we want to continue to work with her and see how the business picks back up after COVID.
Okay, well, just throwing it out there, because if it's such a big revenue generator, we too will be needing revenue, right? And so I would think it's in our best interest to look at every source of revenue and whether or not we could gain more revenue by having that basketball. And, you know, maybe she could fill us one of our vacant spaces somewhere else around the city. We seem to have a lot of those. So I was just asking if that comparison and revenue comparison had been made, because of course, you know, we need revenue probably. I get the relationship, they're important, but we are in the business to make money also at our rec center if we can. So, okay, thank you.
Councilman Beeman, on page 2, line 10 at the bottom, North Olmsted Gymnastics shall disclose to customers in conjunction with registration forms that it is an independent contractor of the city of North Olmsted. I mean, that kind of covers, doesn't it?
No, it does not, because it's not on our city's website that it's separate from the city. It's not on the literature. She's obligated to disclose it as she takes registrations. But you know, but really, if someone's just looking, and I looked at the website again today, it really looks like it's like our skating program or some of the other things that we do. So I'm not asking for a very large disclaimer, but I do think a separation because of the environment that we're in would be better for us than not.
Well, what is it that you wanted to amend it to?
Oh, I would just like the language at that paragraph 1, page 3, to say that you know, the city shall identify North Olmsted Gymnastics as an independent contractor. So on our website, right, at the gymnastics page, it would say in some footnote that, you know, this is not a city program, that this, you know, is whatever you say. And I'll leave that to Michael Groh. I think he knows what I'm trying to say.
Instead of it saying the city reserves the right to, you just want it to say the city shall?
Yes, so that we are required to not really own her, if you will, meaning there's no mistake that somebody going to that city website knows she's an independent program within our city building.
See an issue with that, Mr. Grohl?
You can change it if you want. I don't know that I understand the rationale behind it, but if the council committee prefers to change that language and make the motion, that's within its rights. I'll change it to whatever council wants to change it to.
Okay. So let's just change it. The city reserves the right to identify to the city
No, The
shall.
city shall. Mhm. Identify, right. So we'll be removing reserves the right to and
Yeah,
replacing shall.
place it with shall, yeah. So we can just amend it at that, okay, Mr. Grohl? Mr. Broussard, do you have anything for committee?
Well, in this instance, I defer to the lawyer. So if he doesn't have an issue with it, then I didn't either. Thank you.
Okay. Council, anybody from council? Okay, seeing none. Then I will go ahead and recommend,
Mr. Glassfern had his hand.
sorry,
Mr. Glassfern.
I didn't see it, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. Thank you, Mr. Chair, for your indulgence. I just wanted to briefly just point out here that we're giving a 75% discount to a vendor of the city because of the difficulties of this, and it sounds like that's appropriate, but I hope that we are being consistent across other vendors and other relationships, that we're not picking favorites here and there about who we're going to cut a break during this difficult time and who we're not. That's all, Mr. Chair. Thank you very much.
Okay, anybody else from council? All right, then I'm going to go ahead and recommend 2020-118 to full council as amended and ask for a second.
Okay.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Passes 3-0. Okay, next is 2020-119, a resolution authorizing the mayor of the city of North Olmsted to enter into a one-year agreement with Right Vending LLC in order to provide for vending machine services at the North Olmsted Rec Center. Chris, are you going to do this one too? Or the mayor, or who's going to take this?
I can take it. So as most of you know, we've had little to no luck in the past 6 years, really since Quality Quick Snacks went out of business and sold their business. Gentleman retired. We've had little to no success in finding a quality replacement that can fulfill our needs. And our needs are not great. Our needs are 2 vending machines that we would like to have in the main lobby and in the rink area. Right Vending will increase the percentage that we will get. We're getting 10% from Refreshment Solutions, whereas Right Vending is offering a 15% to us. They do offer high-tech machines that, for instance, can identify non-dispensed product, and they can fix that remotely and refund remotely and do all those types of things. So again, we are looking to have one machine in the main hall and then one machine in the rink area, and that's about it.
Okay, and I do see on here that Commissioner Drensky received a single proposal, so this was the only company?
We did not go out for RFP. They reached out to us. We did not have an RFP out there. Like I said, we've had no success in the past. We've had major issues with the Refreshment Solutions as We've had bounced checks. We've had to track money down to go get them to pay up after months of non-compliance. So, but Right Vending reached out to us.
Okay. Committee? Ms. Seaman?
Thank you. Are the snack items good? Are they tasty?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I'm in. I mean, you're happy with this selection, and I would assume.
Yeah, and we do have choice once we get approval and have the machines come in. We do have the right on product, and one of the issues that we had with Refreshment Solutions is the one closest to the fitness area. We wanted to have the majority of healthy snacks in there for obvious reasons, and they had trouble fulfilling our needs after repeated requests to do so. So we will have the right of choosing what goes in those machines. So yes.
I look forward to
Yeah, the bad stuff will be in the rink though. So.
things.
Council, questions? All right, seeing none, I will recommend to full council 2020-119 and ask for a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
That passes 3-0, and we will end this committee meeting at 9:14. Thank you.